Hello. I'm going to show you how I mixed my new song with Yates XV. It's called Silhouette. It just came out. Um, I want to do more of these, so hopefully you guys like this one. I get questions about how I mix. Um, so yeah, let me just go over my process on how I mix. Hold on, let me just turn my webcam on. All right. So this beat is produced by Rick Hardy. He's a fucking animal. Crazy, crazy good producer. Um so yeah, I'll give you a little sample. This is how it sounds.
I held you close, I felt your heart, I want your skin, I want you, darling.
So I've got two vocal layers on here during the chorus, and then during my verse I've just got one. Usually I do a lot more layers. But I've got a main vocal here, which is very mono, and then I've got a widened backing vocal. No harmonies, just doing the same shit that the main one's doing. So I guess I'll break down. I'll break down how I mixed it. So this is it on its own without any send, so without reverb or delay or anything. This is it soloed.
I held you close, I felt your heart.
Actually, I lied. I have to mute my vocal line on my backing vocal. This is it.
I held you close, I felt your heart, I want your skin.
It's very harsh, and it's kind of what I was going for. I wanted kind of like a very high-end quonic almost mix. But yeah, this is how the vocals sound raw. I recorded it with some slight auto tune. So the track that's printed has no auto tune on it, but this is what I was being monitored as I was recording. Brace yourself. I held you close, I felt your heart, I want your skin, I want you, darling. So I'm gonna be real. I thought I was printing that auto tune. I didn't realize I had a setting here that didn't record my auto tune. Oh, you can't even see it on the screen. Yeah, it just printed the raw audio. I thought it was gonna print it with the auto tune on. So I put another auto tune on the mix when I was mixing. It's pretty much what I'm trying to say. So let's go over what I did. So I started off with auto tune. I didn't expect to crank the settings up this hard. But I thought it sounded cooler, I guess. Because the vocals are very harsh and kind of distorted, you don't notice the auto tune as much. If I were to play this with just auto tune, I held you close, I felt your heart, I want. You can hear the wobbles and all that, but with everything mixed together, it hides it really well. So I've got my EQ here, cut a fuck ton of the lows. This is way more than I normally do. I usually cut about 80 hertz. Dipped at my fundamental. bit of the high mids, and then I boosted the highs. I wanted it to be very much in the mix, I guess. So it's just more high end you're hearing than the body. The body's kind of out, if that makes sense. I wanted it to sound a bit thin. And then I've got Arvox, really good compressor, very clean. It's doing fairly minimal stuff here, kind of just catching the peaks. And then I've chucked on a just a preset from Vocal Lead 3. Oh, sorry, from FabFilter. It's called Vocal Lead 3. It's a nice preset. I like it. Tames the fundamental. This kind of area here makes it sound really boxy, but it's I've got it on dynamic. So while it's playing,
I held you close.
it catches a lot of the
Felt your heart.
low end. And then I got this fucking thing. I didn't know that this plugin existed. I was doing some research. It's just a hectic fucking multi-band compressor. I found a preset, and this one plugin changes the entire mix. It worked really well for this song, and I've tried it on newer songs after this, and it just hasn't worked at all. So I was kind of shocked I found this. So this is it with it on, and I'll do it off and on and off and on, blah blah blah.
I held you close. I felt your.
And then off.
I held you close. I felt your heart.
Like it's pretty extreme, but I don't know. It's pretty freaking sweet. Then I got a 76. Usually I'll run vocals through a 76 first into a 2A. Don't know why I chose to do Arvox and then a bunch of processing and then another compressor. I mixed this song maybe 2-3 months ago. I also never have it on the blue setting. I always have it on black. I think blue adds a fair bit of low end in, but just a very
I held you close.
very strong compressor. Bit of saturation, J37, really good plugin. I male vocal warmth preset right here is really good. I put this on pretty much every song. The noise will be up on it. The noise level sucks. Take that off. You don't want noise level. You just fiddle with the saturation. I drove a bit of the input 4 decibels. And just adds a really nice tape saturation to it. And then I ended it with this Fab filter, bring some more high end into it. It's just another preset. And it's dynamic here as well, so it's also cutting a lot of the S's.
I felt your heart. I want your skin. I want you, darling.
And then I finished it with a noise gate. Don't know why I put it so late. Usually I'll put it after my compression. A lot of the CLA compressors introduce a lot of noise. But I put it right at the very end, so I don't know. I guess it cleans it up a bit. But to be honest, listening to it soloed like this, it sounds pretty shit. But in context with everything, I think it sounds really, really good. So that's my main vocal. And then I've got my second layer, which honestly, most of it's just fucking copied and pasted. I know I cut a lot more low end out of this and widened it. So yeah, I've got my auto tune. I did vocal align it. This plugin's a fucking lifesaver, but it is so fucking expensive. But one of my best purchases I made as an audio engineer. It saves so much time. EQ, compressor, literally just copied and paste everything over. I did add a doubler to it, detuning the left and right by 6 semitones, I believe. As semitones. But I kept my main signal in there too. So I will A and B it because this is with it off.
I held you close.
And then with it on.
I held you close.
In context, playing with my my main vocal. This is all still dry without any sends.
I held you close. I felt your heart. I want your.
Huge. Makes the vocal sound a lot bigger. Put Vitamin back on it. 76 again. Literally copy and fucking paste. This probably isn't a great example of a project to show you. I usually don't mix like this. And then I have both these vocals getting sent to my reverb here, which I use Valhalla Shimmer. First time I ever used Shimmer, by the way, on vocals. I mean, I've used it on synths and guitar, but on vocals, it's just a huge reverb. I usually use Valhalla vintage verb, and I couldn't dial the settings in. I couldn't get it sounding how I wanted to. So I just thought I'd give this a go. And it's a huge reverb. It sounds sick.
I held you close. I felt your heart.
It just holds. It's so nice. And then if I put it back to where I had it,
I held you close. I felt your heart.
kind of ties it all in. Like yeah, very cool. I'm gonna start using this a lot more. And then I've got it sent to my delay. I've just used the radio preset on parametric EQ2, just to cut, highs, lows, have that real mid fucking, just all the annoying frequencies you can have. Going into my delay, I've got a fuck ton of delay plugins, and I always go back to the FL Delay 3. It's so good. Just got it on a quarter note. Ping pong it at what, 56%. And it's pretty, I've turned it down a fair bit. So this is the chorus with absolutely everything on. This is the chorus with on release, I guess you can say.
I held you close. I felt your heart. I want your skin.
All right, let's move over to the verse. Pretty sure I did the exact same. Yeah, only thing I did was add a flanger. I guess, I don't know, mix it up a bit. I remember the day that I scheduled this track, I chucked in a reverse reverb. I don't know, just a bit of ear candy, just a little bit of something. But this is how this sounds.
It's so hard to tell. Is this home or hell?
I did forget on the verse specifically, I've got this send also going to a Valhalla delay on a half note. I think, yeah, I tried to put an Echo Boy and it didn't work. I can fuck that off. It fills up a lot of space. I'm literally singing one line break, singing one line, so it just fills out, fills up space. I'll boost it up so you can, I'll exaggerate it.
It's so hard to tell. Is this home or hell?
So it just fills up that space. And so, I mean, yeah, that's it for my stuff. I've got the greatest Aussie emo rapper of all time, Yates XV, on this song. He sent me a dry and a wet version of his vocals. Usually I ask them to send dry vocals and I'll send it to my reverb and delay sends that I have set up. But he was alright. He was a fucking man and just sent me every variation of everything, so I had a bunch to choose from. And his reverb and delay settings, he actually mixed himself, I thought sounded the best. He's a lot more rappy style, and with my Valhalla shimmer, it was just too much. It was just a bit crazy. So I've got this. Yeah, I've done nothing to his vocals. I've just gain staged it, and Bob's your fucking uncle. So here's his verse.
Feel the cracks in my body. I don't have anybody. Wires on my body like infection. Her scent makes a home feel entrenching. Silhouettes of a loved one sinking. Now forever burn. What the fuck was I thinking?
Crazy musician, crazy engineer, fucking awesome dude. Yeah. What can I say? Everything he does, everything he touches is just fucking perfect. Initially, I was just going to keep this part of the song, just the instrumental. And when he sent his verse, all I asked him to do was do a verse here, and then harmonize with me at the end. And he was like, "Nah, fuck you. I'm gonna do this here." And it's my favorite part of the song, from him coming in after my part. I think just sick.
Why am I scared to close my wounds?
The ad libs, brother.
Cause still bleed while I just lose.
Yeah, no, fucking nuts. And then yeah, we're both on the final chorus. I got rid of my wide vocals for this. He, has very wide vocals in all of his songs. He layers like fucking 12 times. So it's just kind of clashing a bit on like the stereo field. And then this automation here is just turning. I have to turn it down because of my vocal line kind of wigs out, and it'll still play audio even though I've got it muted. So this is the final chorus.
I want you, held you close. I felt your heart. I want your skin. I want you, darling. Held you down.
Crazy. He's a fucking animal. Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's it. I hope you like this kind of stuff. I do definitely want to do more. I find mixing very fun. So let me know. Love you all. Check out my new song, Silhouette. Yeah, bye.